Ugh, they're already starting to find me. Okay, guys, I am out to give you an honest review of the ThermaCell Mosquito Repellent product. Now, I've been out here testing this out once before, a couple of weeks back, and I figure I might not have given it a fair test back then, so I've come back to test it a second time. But while I'm getting set up, I'm going to give you a chance to see some of the video I shot from that previous test. And when you come back, we're going to try it again. See you in a few minutes. It's May 14th, just before the long weekend in Canada and the United States, and I am out testing some equipment. And I wanted to show you the process, because I don't want you to think that if I ever do a gear review that I don't test this stuff out first before I start talking about it. And this is a spectacular example. It's late evening here at one of my local hiking spots, and it's just starting to get into prime mosquito time. I can already see them gathering around the warm engine of the car. So this is going to be a very good test, and I think the minute I step outside of this car, they're going to pounce on me. Wow, I should have known. I got to the parking lot, there were no other cars, and I think this has got to be why. They're really getting bad now. Now that I'm in the forest, doesn't seem to be as much wind at all. That's a really good sign. Ooh. Sorry about the erratic filming, but they're really starting to bite quite ferociously at this point. But I want to get a little deeper for this test. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, it's time for the bug jacket to come on. There's no way I can continue without some physical protection at the moment. Oh boy. I've really worked up my body temperature getting out here quickly. So I've got a good heat signature, and they're zeroing in on it, baby. Wow. Bug jacket. There we go. All right. Hopefully that's enough to demonstrate that I am not exaggerating. Now this is the ThermaCell off. There's no mosquito repellent pad in the unit yet. It's right here, and it's obviously hasn't started heating yet. So I think we'll be able to do a pretty good test. Says this thing starts off blue and should last about 4 hours till it turns white. So as you can see, hopefully, there's just an absolute ton of mosquitoes all over me. Now there is a slight breeze up here, which I think just adds to the test. It's not affecting the mosquitoes at all. They're having no trouble. But I think it might affect this ability to keep the mosquitoes away. Are you seeing these? This is no mosquito repellent whatsoever. They're just relentless. If you can imagine, without this bug jacket on, I would be going insane. Now, the directions say that it needs a few minutes to start doing its job. So, we turn it on, the gas starts flowing, press the igniter, and then we check this window up here, and we see a glowing light. You probably can't see that on the camera, but I can see it. And so it is now on and starting to heat up. I think it's safe to say it's definitely not instant. But to be fair, the directions do say it needs a few minutes to warm up before it starts really working. Well, it's been about 5 minutes now that this thing's been running. And I'm actually seeing some smoke coming off of the pad. And it says I shouldn't breathe those vapors. So obviously it's starting to do its thing. But I'm not seeing a significant difference in the mosquito activity around me yet. Well, I can certainly say there are no mosquitoes around the ThermaCell unit at all. But I wouldn't expect there would be even if it wasn't on. There's no reason for mosquitoes to be attracted to it. But they are still all over me and I'm right beside it. Every once in a while I can get a smell of something that definitely smells like chemicals. Hard to describe. But I'm literally sitting right beside this unit. And I've still got a significant amount of mosquitoes. But still not effective enough for me to even risk a few seconds outside of this jacket. Can you see the fumes coming off of it? Right in here. There you go, you can see it there. So, it's certainly doing its thing. I don't know how long it smokes like that, but you can certainly see the fumes coming off of this. It's having slightly measurable effect on the amount of mosquitoes around me, but certainly not keeping the mosquitoes off. Let me demonstrate. I guess we could say they're not swarming me in the numbers that they were when I first started it up, that's for sure. But based on what I was reading, I was expecting to be able to create an area at least immediately around the unit, just right there, of no mosquitoes at all. That was my expectation. So far that's not happening. I think I can say at this point, we're about 10 minutes into the experiment, that we've gone from insane mosquitoes to just bad. Certainly not none. But I have a feeling that even just this light breeze, you can see the fumes aren't certainly being blown away, but there is a breeze that's moving them away. Must be having an impact on it. As I descend down the hill here, I should probably mention that temperature is definitely going to play a factor in this test today. And that's a strategy that we use when it is really bad mosquitoes like today. We just retreat to our tents until it gets cold enough that the mosquitoes are no longer active, and then come out and sit around the fire. So It's pretty early, it's May, and it's going to drop down to at least 10 degrees by nightfall. So that may have an impact on the number of mosquitoes that are involved in this test. So I think if I do this again, I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to test it in warmer conditions. As I descend down in the valley, I can feel it getting cooler. Okay, I am far away from the unit. Just collecting some mosquitoes now here in the swampy area. But already the activity around me is diminished considerably, and I think that's the temperature effect, because I should just be swarmed right now. Well, as you can see, I'm tucked right up beside the tree where my pack is leaning up against. The unit is right there. There is a slight, ever so slight breeze, and I am downwind. With no breeze, I believe the instructions said it should be able to protect an area 4 meters by 4 meters. I'm certainly within that. I'm not coated with mosquitoes at the moment. In fact, I'm having trouble locating any immediately right now. Oh, there's one. Right on cue. I hope you got that. That was beautiful. But I can't say at this moment whether it's the ThermaCell that's having an impact on the number of mosquitoes that are around me right now, or the coolness in this valley, because I can definitely feel a chill starting, and that definitely slows down the mosquitoes considerably. This is actually a pretty neat idea for future tests. Have it going on my pack like this, back there. You can see it. And when I stop like this, I'm trying to find the owl. Normally without it, the mosquitoes would just descend on me by the thousands like they did earlier. Without the mosquito net on or mosquito repellent, they'd be driving me insane. There's a few biting me on my exposed skin, but not what I would expect. Certainly not swarming. Got to figure out how to test this to make sure that it's the ThermaCell that's having the effect, and be able to demonstrate it on video. That's going to be a challenge. You see, it's really hard to be objective, because I purchased this and I really want it to work, and so I don't want to seem foolish in wasting my money on something that doesn't work. So I'm looking for it to work, and I'm trying really hard to rule that out as I evaluate this. But this is a first test, a first look, and I'm still mildly impressed. Maybe compare it to those mosquito coils somehow. Be nice to know that this works better than that, at least, because it's considerably more expensive to run than those mosquito coils. And it is a lot more to carry than those mosquito coils. So that's how I'll judge. It's got to at least be able to beat mosquito coils, or it's not worth bringing out. There you go. That's what we're going to do for our test. Good. glad I worked that out. I'm glad I worked that out with you guys. Alright. We'll see you in the actual test video. Bye for now.